Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. I bow to Govinda, whose nature is bliss supreme, who is the Sadguru, who can be known only from the import of all Vedanta, and who is beyond the reach of speech and mind. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om, peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are studying Vivekachudamani, and as we do, before we start, we read from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. Is David there?
Yes, Swami.
So please read.
Desires of materialization, that is, being dragged down more and more to the plane of mechanical action, belong to the animal man. It is only when the desire to prevent all such bondage to the senses arises that religion dawns in the heart of man. Thus we see that the whole scope of religion is to prevent man from falling into the bondage of the senses and to help him to assert his freedom. The first effort of this power of liberty towards that end is called morality. The scope of all morality is to prevent this degradation and break this bondage. All morality can be divided into the positive and the negative elements. It says either do this or do not do this. When it says do not, it is evident that it is a check to a certain desire which would make man a slave. When it says do, its scope is to show the way to freedom and to breaking down of a certain degradation which has already seized the human heart. Now this morality is only possible if there be a liberty to be attained by man. Apart from the question of the chances of attaining perfect liberty, it is clear that the whole universe is a case of a struggle to expand, or in other words, to attain liberty. This infinite space is not sufficient for even one atom. The struggle for expansion must go on eternally until perfect liberty is attained.
So all our effort, see, we want to know something. Why we know? Because we feel we are ignorant. Why we expand? We want to hoard more. Why? Because we feel we are small. We have limited resources. And alpagyatva, that I am of limited knowledge. So I want to have more knowledge. This is our natural tendency to feel. Though we are nitya, eternal, but we feel we are small, we are not nitya, anitya, temporary. We are here for few days. So though we are nitya, but we think we are anitya. Shuddha, we are pure, but we feel we are impure. That's why we try to clean ourselves. And should we not clean? Yes, because body is to be cleaned. But in reality, we are pure. Shuddha, Buddha, we are already enlightened. Only that the enlightenment is covered. The lion was lion, but it thought that it was a sheep. So that was only in understanding, but not in reality. So all our effort is to break this barrier. What is that barrier? We feel limited. So we want to break this open. That is why freedom. We want to be free. So here, even individual freedom, we think this is our freedom. But sometimes individual freedom brings limitation. We are separated from others. Freedom here means universality. It's not individual freedom. That one has to merge in that supreme individuality. One has to merge in the ocean, leaving aside small droplets, identity of a droplet. So this is our effort all the time. But we all the time mistake. We think, oh, I want to break this. No, I am pure, I am this, and I am holier than thou. Actually, what is happening? I am limiting myself. Rather, this universality is to be cultivated. One should feel universal, no barrier. That's why we are trying to get this freedom. Yes.
It cannot be said that the struggle to gain freedom is to avoid pain or to attain pleasure. The lowest grade of beings, who can have no such feeling, are also struggling for expansion. And according to many, man himself is the expansion of these very beings. There is no progression or digression in nature. It is showing again and again the same forms. In fact, the word law means this. But there is a progression with regard to souls. That is to say, the souls get nearer to their own natures, and in each kalpa, large numbers of them get deliverance from being thus whirled around. It may be said, the individual soul being a part of the universe and nature, returning again and again, there cannot be any liberty for the soul. For in that case, the universe has to be destroyed. The answer is that the individual soul is an assumption through Maya, and it is no more a reality than nature itself. In reality, this individual soul is the unconditioned, absolute Brahman. All that is real in nature is Brahman, only it appears to be this variety or nature through the superimposition of Maya. Maya, being illusion, cannot be said to be real, yet it is producing the phenomena. If it be asked, how can Maya, herself being illusion, produce all this? Our answer is that what is produced, being also ignorance, the producer must also be that. How can ignorance be produced by knowledge? So this Maya is acting in two ways, as nescience and science, relative knowledge. And this science, after destroying nescience or ignorance, is itself also destroyed. This Maya destroys herself, and what remains is the absolute, the essence of existence, knowledge, and bliss. Now, whatever is reality in nature is this absolute. And nature comes to us in three forms: God, consciousness, God, conscious and unconscious, i.e. God, personal souls, and unconscious beings. The reality of all these is the absolute. Through Maya, it is seen to be diverse. But the vision of God is the nearest to the reality and the highest. The idea of a personal God is the highest idea which man can have. All the attributes attributed to God are true in the same sense as are the attributes of nature. Yet we must never forget that the personal God is the very absolute seen through Maya.
So, what is personal God? absolute, but seen through this Maya. What is Maya? Yama, what does not exist. So another way we say ajnana. Ajnana means not total absence of knowledge. We have some inkling that I know something. But what I know, I don't know. This contradiction is ajnana. Knowing that I know, but I don't know. This is a contradiction. And how this is predicted? The answer cannot be found within the domain of Maya. Within this ignorance, we cannot find the answer. It is like when we are dreaming, we cannot ask why I am dreaming. Say a person wrote a novel. The character of that novel cannot ask why I was created. Because that is the product of Maya. So this, then how this, why we are studying this? Because we have a guru. Guru means here Shastra and Guru, both. Guru comes and tells that though you think that you are a sheep, but in reality you are not a sheep. See, last time you asked a question that how, in one sense we say that it is revealed by Vedanta, Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam, Tam Agocharam. We also in the beginning, we have that Mangala Charanam. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam, but Tam Agocharam. Nothing can prove it. But Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam means what? This is the only light. You know, like mother comes and wakes us up. Oh, you are sleeping for long. Now get up, get ready and eat something. So this is Vedanta, Vedanta Siddhanta. Okay, we can take two imagery. We know this story, but still it is good to revise. 10 people went for a fair. And while going there, Guru told, be careful not to get mixed up, and your 10 people are going, you must come back 10. So while crossing the river, then after crossing, they wanted to count how many we are left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So everybody counted, and everybody found 9. So they were weeping. Then a wise man came and said, why you are weeping? He said, we were 10, now we are 9. Is it? So he counted 1, 2, 3. So he asked, okay, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now he was indicating this, then he said, now you point that to this. Dashamas Tamasi. You are the 10th. Why you are weeping unnecessarily? Though it looks like it is foolish, but we do the same thing all the time. Only Guru comes and tells, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. Tat Tvam Asi. Now, Tat Tvam. Tat means Tat, that. Tvam, you. So something is here in presence, in my presence, and something is beyond our perception. How these two can be equal? Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. Now we have in our life or in our society, we have way of talking. So one we can take literally, like please bring me a glass of water. So water you know, bringing you know, and I am requesting. That means, oh, you'll bring a glass of water. Simple. So vachyartha. Vachyartha means literal meaning of a sentence. But there is lakshartha, implied meaning. Oh, I love you so badly. I need you so badly. So here bad means not bad. I need you very urgently or very lovingly. So many usages are there. I am not going in details. So these are lakshanas, implied meaning. So one is when we take literally that vakya, it is called vachyartha, literal meaning. Second is so indirect or implied meaning. Now there are many kinds of implied meaning, jahat lakshana, ajahat lakshana. I am not going in details because then we'll forget the purpose. I'll take the last one. We say, oh David, this is the same David which I saw 7 years back. In 7 years so many things happened. Or, oh, this David I saw 40 years back. So that time David was very small, no mustache. Now David has mustache or whatever. It's a like example, not to take personally. So what we do, we leave something. What we leave? That time body, that time mind of David. David or say like X. And who is present now? We don't take this both, the present body, the present mind, but we take that self. So what we do, we remove the contradictory statements, but what is unifying, that consciousness, we take that one. Tat tvam asi. And then what happens? That is not enough also. So then come aham brahmasmi. That direct knowledge comes. So when tat tvam asi, then we can understand, when we analyze this, okay, I am this, I am conscious, and similarly God is also the consciousness. So both are in consciousness, we are one. What about this body-mind complex? This is to be discarded because it is all temporary. It's only seeming. It's not real. Every day we forget our body. Every day we forget our mind. Then in the morning we identify with this body-mind. So this is all the time coming and going. Therefore, these are not true. These are not our true self. Lioness or selfness is our real self. So from that standpoint, we can say that tat tvam asi. So tat, that, you are that, thou art that. So here it is unifying. So this sentence we get from Shastra, Upanishad. That is why we cannot discard Upanishad. It is indicating. How it is indicating? It is taking our finger and saying, oh, you are the 10th. And we understand, oh, I am the 10th. Actually, we forget. We have forgotten. It is so steep that all the time we cogitate, but still we forget. So this is to be hammered within. And then comes tadakara karita, chitta vritti. Then comes when one is shravana, after shravana, hearing this many times, then manana, cogitation, and nididhyasana. That means totally living that idea. When shipness goes away and landness dawns unto us, no more shipness. So that is nididhyasana. But still a chitta vritti, mental modification is still there. Chitta vritti udeti. And ultimately that chitta vritti also goes away. That chitta vritti also goes away. Then there is no word to explain. So this is the way. So here we can tell that Shastra, that Shastra is indicating, it is like Guru. Guru is indicating, you are not a sheep, you are a lion. But that is not enough. I must have that experience. Yes, I am lion. So that lioness comes. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam. Gocharam here means that much. Tan Manusana Manute. By mind we cannot understand him. But yena, by mind we attain. That means by Shuddha mind, pure mind. And as Sri Ramakrishna said, Shuddha man, pure mind, pure intellect, and pure self are not three different, they are one. So yan manusana manute, and also there is another statement, manasevanu drashtabhya. By mind one has to experience this. That means what? Pure mind. So here it is not contradictory. We have to remove whatever is not agreeing. Like we have many examples. Gangeyam Ghosha. That means, that tree, can you see that tree? That's on the river. That means what? Not on the river, but on the bank of the river. So, and sometimes we say, oh, red is running. So all these various expressions are there, but red means red horse. So we are to take some, whatever is common, we have to reject some which one is not implied there. Through that implication we have to just try to have that ekakara vritti. That means that unifying mental modification. And after that, aham brahmasmi, then that modification also goes away. Then comes and then dawns on to our real lioness. So in one way we can tell that Guru is indicating you are that, thou art that. So Guru is a praman from one point of view, but ultimately when I am experiencing, that is the praman. So no word can express it. It is said that Nayamatma pravachanena labhya. This Atman cannot be attained by listening many lectures. Na bahuna shrutena. Na medhaya na bahuna shrutena. And by intellect we cannot understand it. Intellect is also within this product, within the domain of Maya. Na bahuna shrutena. By listening many times, no. Yamai Vaishya Brinute Stena Labhya. He who wants to know him, or Bhakta will say, when he chooses you, then only it happens. Vibrinute, Atma Vibrinute Tanum Swam. Then only it reveals itself. So what we have to do, we have to submit ourselves to the divine. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braj. Leaving aside all, everything. As Jesus said, leave aside all your business, sell everything and follow me. But this is, for us it is too much. We think, then what will happen? But without this, nothing will happen. So that is, David, the answer of your question last time. I think it should be clear. So we go forward. What is the number?
416.
So 416.
प्रारब्ध सूत्र रहेगा।
Now, what happens after knowledge is achieved? It is like a person who was sleeping and he wakes up. Then what happens? He totally forgets about the dream. If there was a nightmare, maybe palpitation will be there. But he does not even gives importance to that. So prarabdha sutra grathitam. So what happens? There comes the prarabdha. So three kinds of things are there. As we are working, and also we have some residual results or residual impressions of our previous action. And the current situation. Now, for a business, we can say current account. With that help of current account, we have present business. And whatever is the product of that business, that will accrue some profit. So that will be sanchita karma. Sanchita karma means accumulated karma. Prarabdha karma means whatever is being transacted now. And by this we accrue the result. So here prarabdha karma means whatever is residual impressions for running of this body mind is still living. That should be exhausted. The example is given. Like a cart was moving, but it got the wheel got detached from the cart. So what happens? It still moves a little till the momentum is spent. So after spending the momentum, then only the wheel stops. So before that, wheel goes on. Similarly, if a person has realized and he has no work or he has no attachment for future results, because he has already realized, he is awakened. When he is awakened, still the heart is palpitating. So that happens because of the residual impressions that was accrued previously. So we take up the sutra first, shloka first, and we'll read the meaning, and then we'll try to understand. Prarabdha sutra gratitam shariram prayatu va tishtatu goriva strak natat punaha pashyati tattvetta ananda atmani brahmani lina vrittihi. The knower of truth does no more care whether this body spun out by the threads of prarabdha work falls or remains, like the garland on a cow. For his mind functions are at rest in the Brahman, the essence of bliss. So, body may continue and his mind also may function, but he is not interested. That happens without any intention of the holder of the body. So, when one person realizes his real self, then he is no more interested in this worldly affairs. What happened to the incarnations? They cover themselves in Maya. So what is that, the difference? Incarnation is Mayadhish. He is the master of Maya. So he can at will come in disguise. But other people are Mayadhina, under the spell of Maya. So once a person have that unification, like I am a lion, then one cannot act as a sheep. But what happens like a teacher? Teacher knows that children cannot understand that I am, say, post-doctoral student, or I'm a scientist or whatever. So what they do, they come down from that state and teaches the children. Incarnations are like that. But other people, those who want to have freedom, they don't bother about what happens to this body, whether it is destroyed in a ditch or it goes into Ganga. So he does not bother about it. Because his mental he has merged already in the self, in the ocean. So example is given like a person threw a garland on a cow, and the garland was there. And the cow is not mindful. Okay, I'll give two more examples. Like the example of you are the 10th. After they realized, oh, I am the 10th, then they don't weep. They then don't worry about, oh, I have lost a friend. Or Swamiji, example of Swamiji. Swamiji said, I was walking in Saurashtra, in Gujarat, and for about a month I saw beautiful sceneries, water bodies, and the trees are reflected in that water. And I was, oh, beautiful place, and people say it's desert. So one day he was thirsty and he walked to one of the water body. Maybe he has just invented this, but anyway. And after a certain time, he noticed that water body was receding. Then he realized, oh, this is what I studied in my childhood days. It's called mirage. After that, he saw similar ponds and reflection of trees, but he was not attracted to that. So this happens when that identification comes, that I am Brahman, Tat Tvamasi, I am Aham Brahmasmi. Then one does not care about, he may continue like normal being till the body falls off. He's not, he's not lethargic. Whatever is done to be done, he'll do, and then what happens happens. He's not mindful about it. So he does not want that, let me die. No. Let this prarabdha be fulfilled, exhausted. And because he is not accruing fresh karma, so that will not be impediment, and whatever whatever prarabdha is to be exhausted, it will be exhausted. So okay, we go to next. Hope there is no question.
Akhanda.
Yeah, akhanda ananda atmanam vijnaya स्वस्वरूपतः किमिच्छन् कस्य बाहेतोः देहं पुष्णाति तत्त्ववेत्. Realizing the Atman, the infinite bliss, as his very self, and with what object or for whom should the knower of truth cherish the body? There is no reason why he should cherish. There is a shloka in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Atmanam chet vijaniyat aham asmiti purushaha kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjvaret. So what is the desire then? We may love this body, but this body is filth. Whatever comes out of it, except some good words, are filth. And this is called Deha Mandiram. So it is like a temple of all diseases. There are so many diseases, one after another. It will come. Somehow it will go. This body will go. This body will fall off. Mind also fickle. It all the time makes us jump around this world along with it. So mind is also like that. So therefore there is no reason why a knower of self continue in this world. But he does not hate anything. I don't want, that is also a want. So I don't want to die or I want to die, both are want. So one is negative, one is positive. But he is like, as Ramakrishna gave a wonderful example, dry leaf on a gale or in a gale. So wherever the leaf is taken, the leaf is happy there. After a certain time it will take another place. The leaf is happy there. And then one day it will be thrown in the ocean and then done. Only thing, the incarnations, they come down for the welfare of the devotees. As Sri Krishna said, that though I am ajopi san abhyatma, bhutanam ishwarapi san, but I hold the Prakriti and I create myself. Why I create myself? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I incarnate myself in every age to re-establish dharma and also to help those who are good and to destroy those who are bad elements, because he wants to keep a balance. Why keep a balance? If you create something, something will go wrong. Therefore, he comes to re-establish that order. It is like this. A story writer is writing a book. He cannot stop there. He should come to a conclusion. So a story will go on till it comes to a conclusion. A movie maker makes a movie. All of a sudden he cannot stop. He has to conclude that. So his creation, when somebody is creating, say God has created this, so he must have an order also. In a society, you need police. If there is no thief, then there is no need of police. But we need everything. In a creation, we need all kinds of, the miscreant also is required. If there is day, then there should be night. In a creation, this duality must be there. And therefore, it will tend to be disordered, and then incarnation, that author will say, oh, then now I write this way. And he brings the order. Now we go to the next. What is the fruit of the self-knowledge? What is the proof of self-knowledge? Samsiddhasya phalam tetaj jivanam uktasya yoginah bahirantah sadananda rasaswadan atmani. The yogin who has attained perfection and is liberated in life gets this as a result. He enjoys eternal bliss in his mind, eternally as well as externally. Internally as well as externally. So he enjoys bliss. It's like freedom. Like that lion. Lion identified no more with sheepness. So he felt, oh, I'm lion. Like the story that one forgot, one prince went astray and he started taking drug and he started living in a slum, and he forgot that he was a prince. But then one day a minister came, he identified, oh, you are our prince. See, that sign is here, and this is the picture you can see. And gradually he was brought back to the palace, and later he became the king. So the identification of that slum dweller or the drug addict that time, so he could come out of it. And this is the fruit of freedom. And freedom gives joy. Freedom gives that expansion. It's contraction is death and expansion is life, as Swamiji said. So it gives expansion. He is no more small. He is free. And Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Svabhavan. He is eternal, pure, and full of knowledge, and free. So this identity comes to him. Okay, we go to the next. Now a sequence is given how this state has come. It has not come all of a sudden, but it is because of renunciation. Renunciation is a must. Sell everything and follow me. Sri Ramakrishna would teach his disciples that only purpose of this life is to attain God. So leave aside everything. So when Niranjananandaji later accepted a job, Sri Ramakrishna said, you have accepted for your mother, so it will not harm you. But if I would have known that you have done for you for your own enjoyment, then I would not have be able to see your face. So renunciation means he's no more interested in worldly things, to gather material and to earn name and fame. So three kinds of ashana. So lokashana, vittashana, and also yashashana. People work for this. People work for money and matter and properties. People work for name and fame, and people work for progeny. That, after my demise, there should be some stone that here lies such and such. That stone means children. So one wants to leave something in this world. That's why progeny. So this is for those who want it, they are free to have it. Only those who have that idea of renunciation is only for them. For others, yes, Sadgrihastha is also good. Say M used to earn money, and he asked Sri Ramakrishna, should I not try to earn more because I help people? And Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, you can. So for Sadgrihastha it is allowed, and he should have progeny also. Tantum ma vyavachesi. Prajatantum ma vyavachesi. As Upanishad says, that this continuation, it should be this thread of progeny to be continued. Yes, for those Sadgrihastha it is necessary. But here we are talking about Vivekachudamani. There it is without compromise. And also, Kimna sadhuna karvam. And why should not one strive to be even earn name and fame? Yes, our Upanishad said, yes, you can do it. But only thing, you should not be attached with it. That's Sadgrihastha. But somehow willy-nilly it comes, some attachment comes. That is why there are two ways, one is Pravritti Marg, one is Nivritti Marg. Those who are following Pravritti Marg, they are allowed, but they should not be attached with it. Those who are Nivritti Marg, they should just renounce in the bud itself, in the beginning itself. So there should not be any cause of bondage. So this is for Vivekachudamani, so Jnana Yogis. It is for them. But Karma Yogis, Bhakti Yogis, they are allowed. So there is no contradiction here. Now, it is like this. If someone wants to go to California, say San Francisco, so one can choose either, the roadways, one can drive there, and sometimes he can wait and see around, enjoy the scenario. Only it will take a little more time. But someone wants to go directly, so he flies. He's not attached with the things of the world. So these are two ways, Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg. So both are required, Nisriyesha and another word is there. So their Vaibhav is also important. What happened to India, the downfall of India? Because it gave too much importance to Nisriyesha. That is why gradually society deteriorated. That is also required. Some people should come forward for that. Otherwise, even that eating, drinking also will stop. So here we are not against it, but when it comes to the ideal, we have to follow this. That is renunciation. First is renunciation. So, Vairagyasya phalam bodha. When one is totally detached, or he has renunciation, full renunciation, then comes the dawn of his understanding comes. Even Upanishad says, Tyage naikam amritatva manasam. Only tyaga, nothing else. Renunciation. Renounce, renounce, renounce. So, vidya phalam syat asato nivrittihi. Now, वैराग्यस्य फलम बोधः बोधस्य उपरतिः फलम स्वानंदानुभवात् शांति एषैव उपरतेः फलम. So these are the fruits. The result of dispassion is knowledge. That of knowledge is withdrawal from sense pleasures, which leads to the experience of the bliss of the self, whence follows peace. So this is so first vairagya, that will lead to the understanding, the wisdom, and then that wisdom will have uparati, total withdrawal from senses. That's the fruit of vairagya. Then what is the fruit of that total withdrawal? Then one is not buffeted by the senses and he enjoys his own bliss. Swananda anubhavaha, and when you have that experience, then it is peace. See, what happens in our deep sleep? When you are going to sleep, if you think about it, that I have so much of money, and tomorrow I'll have to do this and that, you cannot sleep. So one has to discard everything, renounce everything. Then only you'll have a good sleep. And also you'll have a dreamless sleep, shushupti. There you enjoy most, because there are no obstacle, no distraction. Therefore, that situation can be made consciously by renunciation. And then comes peace. Then you'll experience peace. Okay, we can take another. Is there any question? No question. Good. Everybody is understanding. That's wonderful. यद्युत्तरोत्तर भावः पूर्व पूर्वंतु निष्फलम निवृत्तिः परमा तृप्तिः आनंदो अनुपमः स्वतः. So, if there is an absence of the succeeding stages, the preceding ones are futile. So, if we have no peace, that means we have not experienced joy. And if we have not experienced joy, that means we have not withdrawal from our senses. And if we have not withdrawal from our senses, that means we have no wisdom. And if we have no wisdom, that means we have no renunciation, no detachment. That means we have to start from detachment again. Then this state of joy and peace will come. So if there is an absence of the succeeding stages, the preceding ones are futile. When the series is perfect, the cessation of the objective world, extreme satisfaction and matchless bliss follow as a matter of course. And it is said, Pravrittesham bhutanam nivrittistu mahaphalam. So whatever we see, when one is involved, then comes all kinds of disturbances. But if one can withdraw, then he is peaceful. Okay, we have discarded India because India cultivated too much. But still, see, India is surviving. And Swamiji said, If survival of the fittest is the rule, that means India is the fittest. That is why India is surviving. Babylonians, even Egyptians, Mayans or whatever, Mayans, all civilizations gone from the face of the earth. Even the Greeks and they have also gone. There was a time when their cohorts used to trample on the earth, but now they are no more. But India is thriving even today because it is on the principle. Even they have failed socially, but spiritually they are strong. And that is why India is surviving. And Swamiji said, will India die? He said, no. Then the spirituality from the face of the earth will vanish. So India cannot die. India has to convey some spiritual truth to the world. And that is why India is surviving. And people are there to renounce the whole world. So I think enough for the day. Is there any question? No?
No.
Is that yes?
This is, you were mentioning M, how after M met Sri Ramakrishna, how was he able to take care of his 7 children? He was with Sri Ramakrishna so much, and I don't understand it.
He was a witness. He was a great saint. He himself was a great saint. Not only him, those who came in direct contact with Sri Ramakrishna, with Holy Mother, even with Swami Vivekananda and direct disciples. Many are great saints, like say Saint Sarah. Though she was involved in worldly things and she had money, but she was addressed as Saint Sarah. So what I'm saying, they are like M. M did not pay that much attention. Like in the beginning, yeah, he raised children, but after that, they were in their own way. Not many people, they did not come to the mission. But M was a great person. Even that autobiography of a yogi, there also you can find a chapter dedicated to M. So he was not ordinary person. Sri Ramakrishna identified him as Bhagavater Pandit because he was in the band of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So such great one also accepts all these things to help the greater divine play of Sri Ramakrishna.
And
or
actually, some of his children were connected, and then his grandson is still today giving talks in Amrita Bhavan.
Yeah, correct.
So,
Grandson.
I have seen his grandson.
Yeah, I have also seen. And they have dedicated and donated their ancestral property because he has no issues. Yeah, they are also no less, so we also to honor them. But gradually that lineage stops there. Similarly, Balaram's, even lineage of Swamiji, all gone. So anyway, these are the things. We'll say our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So without Sadgrihastha, even how can monks can come in this world? Even incarnation, how can incarnations come? So this is, there should be a balance. Pravritti marga and nivritti marga. Nisriyashana, abhyudaya. Abhyudaya and nisriyashana. Both are required. And when God incarnates, He encourages both the parties. Sri Ramakrishna had the Grihastha disciples also, householder disciples also. But to all of them he said, be detached. Thank you very much.
Swamiji, thank you.
Namaste.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar.